And we're back. You are now rocking with the best, DJ Immortal, in the mix, live. Stay tuned. Outlaw Radio.
All right, guys, we are live, back on the air, and we are live with none other than Off the Cuff CEO, owner, King Eric. How you doing tonight?
What's good, family? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Just grinding Saturday night, you know, kicking off a party. You already know, man. But I have to ask you, man, how did Off the Cuff get its start? I've always wanted to know that, man. What made you decide to want to start the broadcasting platform?
First of all, I want to give an idea, shout out to my mom, first of all, because I basically started off writing. I started off writing as I started becoming a journalist for the culture. Then I transitioned into blogging. And then after that, I started looking at how the radio game was being showcased. I started seeing guys that didn't really know how to conduct interviews the right way. The wrong type of questions were asked. I started looking at certain platforms. I was thinking, hold up, I could do it better than these people. So the first show that we did was in 2014. And my first guest was Outlaw the Sandman, which will soon be my co-host. And I named it Off the Cuff Radio because one thing I learned about a lot of these radio shows is a lot of them are scripted. They all go through a script. Everything gets followed through, and everything is pretty much word for word, basically scripted. And that to me, it takes away the realism. So I wanted to create a platform where artists could come through and speak about their craft. They could be themselves. They could be genuine. I wanted to create an atmosphere that people could come on and be like, yeah, we're going to have a good time. It's like a barbershop feel here. So in 2014, we started our journey. The show with Outlaw the Sandman was great. And we also had the idea from not only my mom, but we were also under another platform from Atlanta called the Grid 10. The Grid 10 gave us that platform to work show for show, and we just started building from there. Then after that, we started bringing on co-hosts, Miss Chinchilla from Texas, T-Max from Virginia, Sage McKenzie, which was Sandman's partner. It's just a lot of people that brought that glue together, man, and right now, we're about sitting at 290 episodes.
And, man, you know what? Later on in this interview, I do want to ask you what's going on with your 300th, man, because I'm excited for that one myself. But I have to bring this up, man. When you mentioned that a lot of radio shows are scripted, man, I've noticed that, man. And that's what made me want to get into this business as well. Because a lot of people, they have their radio shows. You can tell when they're scripted. You can tell when somebody's just talking like me, like us, or you can tell when there's people that are reading from a paper. Like, don't get me wrong, I make my questions before I go on the air. I know what I'm going to say, but all my elaborations are the truth. I don't read every single word off. You know, it's always a better feeling to have it off the, you know, like your show, off the cuff. You know what I mean? It's better to have it off the top of your head. It gives more flavor to your interview. It's not bland.
And see, it also goes back to the shows that I also listen to that inspired me to do this as well, like Stretch and Bobito and Howard Stern and Starring Buck Wild. See, with Starring Bobito, they used to, not Starring Bobito, but Stretch and Bobito, they used to play the dope music. They used to have new artists drop freestyles. They used to come in and fly to New York and drop exclusives. They used to have all fun commentary. That's the vibe we wanted to bring back. And if you really listen to our show, you would sort of feel that Rap City type vibe because we also have instrumentals in our interviews. We wanted to bring that energy back.
And you know what, man? I do also want to say, man, truthfully, I like your show as well, man. I like how you guys talk about current events as well that's actually coming up, that's going on. You know, you guys give segments on that. That's good to do as well, man. It keeps people up to date on what's going on in the hip-hop culture.
Right. And another thing, too, man, is we didn't want to be a show that just We ain't want to be a show to just bash the new school, because, you know, that's another problem that we have amongst a lot of radio shows, that they just come in and just build their platform bashing the new school. And then comes that old head mentality that, oh, we're just going to go ahead and just bash mumble rap, or we're just going to go ahead and just bash what's on radio. I don't like a lot of stuff that's radio, but we don't want to base everything on our show off that, because there's a lot of young and hungry talent out there.
And that's completely understandable as well. You know what I mean? There's only so many legends you can really interview nowadays, right? That actually even are accepting interviews. So you got to keep your eye open for the up and coming talent as well.
Right, and let me also say this too, and you know this for sure. When you're doing radio, it's not what people think it is. We talked about this many times.
Oh, hell no, man.
They be thinking, oh, we got a legend on there. We can just pick him up, call him on the list. He'll show, we will knock the interview out. It is nothing like that at all. If anybody knew the behind the scenes of what goes on with getting these interviews, they don't want to be in this. It's not for the weak of heart.
Oh, man, not most definitely. Like, especially like I was telling you, man, when we were talking privately, man. Like, I'm a fan as well. But once that mic turns on, you got to throw that fan shit out the window, man. Because if you're a fan of an artist and they turn out to be a complete arsehole, you know what I mean? It will fucking crush you. You know, it's terrible, man. Not even just that. When you're talking about, I gotta elaborate on that as well, guys. So the people that are listening, I've had people tell me, "Oh, you booked this legend, man. It's easy. You just call him and do an interview." And it's like, yeah, but. You know what I mean? You have to do the questions, you have to do the promotion, you got to make sure that you have their music, you got to make sure they're on point. And if they're one of those artists, man, that's all over the place all the time, you got to be on them, like, every single day. Like, once in a while, you'll get an artist that will come on the show and it'll be smooth as gravy, you know what I mean? Just flow perfectly, man. But then other artists, you know what I mean? It's all hell breaks loose.
Man, let me tell you, we could book somebody. Everything will be going smooth week in, week out. You think that everything is good, but soon as that hour before, and you don't hear no call, you don't hear no message. That's a panic mode right there. Then you start hitting that panic button.
Because you're live, man. I had that a few times with some artists, man, where you're calling them, and like, because my show, I call them, right? So when you hear that voicemail hit, you're like, all right, maybe, you know, they're in the bathroom, you know, they're human, they're doing their thing. Then you call 2 more times and hitting the voicemail, and you're sitting back scratching your head. You're like, oh, shit, you know, my chat feed's blowing up. I got listeners, you know. 9 times out of 10, they always roll through, you know, but I've had those ones where they didn't answer their phone at all.
Yeah, we had that a couple times, and I believe if everything would have panned out like we planned, we probably would have been at 400 shows, to be honest, but it's that competitive drive that we had to keep us doing this, because we have a lot of people that love what we do, and they love the show. That's what keeps us motivated and going, because there have been days where we've been like, man, we might just want to take a long break, come back, but then again, we just love the game too much, man, especially when you start seeing a lot of talented people wanting to get their voice heard, and then after you conduct an interview with them and they feel like they was treated like a star, that keeps us going.
It's the best feeling in the world, man, just knowing that you're giving another individual hope, man. I know that feeling all too well, man. I love that feeling as well. It's like a drug, man. You want more of it. You want to keep doing it, man.
Yes.
And I have to ask this out, man. Out of all the interviews you have done, man, I know this one's probably going to put you on the spot. You can choose more than one if you want to. Which was your favorite interview that you've ever conducted?
That's a good question. Out of all the interviews that we've done, number one will probably be the one that we did with Doug Young. For those who don't know who Doug Young is, Doug Young was the organizer and promoter of Death Row Records, and this interview was so good that we literally went overtime just to get all the content in. He was dropping so much jewels, so many exclusive stories. It got crazy to where every time we dropped a clip from this interview, that it went 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, because he was bringing such a exclusive introspective of what went on with Death Row Records. And that's what one of the goals that we wanted to bring. We also wanted to take our platform and to give people that didn't really have their light.
And I do want to say this as well, man. That interview you described with Doug Young, man, is the interview that I had with DJ Speed of NWA, and I just noticed you guys booked him, man. You guys are in for a treat. That man is going to talk your ear off, but he's going to tell you some amazing stories, man. So you guys are going to get your fucking minds blown on this one. I can promise you that.
No doubt. No doubt. I can't wait for it, too, because we originally was going to get him on around Christmas time, but you know how time constraint can be between us, because we have a lot of people that want to be on, and we know he's a busy guy as well. But sometimes when God brings it together, it's for the right cause.
Oh man, most definitely, dude. And I want to ask you as well, since we're on the air as well, those profiles I shot you, did any of those individuals happen to accept your friend requests at all, like Arabian Prince or anything like that?
Yeah, he did. And we're going to definitely work on getting him on probably this coming month as well. We got a lot of surprises that we're going to reveal to the table real soon. It's just a matter of just getting everything lined up.
Man, most definitely. Arabian Prince is a great guest as well. That's why when I asked you if you had his contact information and you had him on Facebook, you said you didn't. And I was like, oh man, I got to hook you guys up. You know, I got to hook you with Arabian Prince.
Appreciate it.
Hey man, you know what I mean? You got to go with NWA and the posse.
That's what I want to say too. Yeah, that's what I want to say too, man, is that in this radio game, there's very few that are very genuine in here, man, because a lot of people are out for self. You got a lot of guests, a lot of shows that want to purposely keep other guests away from you or me because they scared that we're going to do a better interview than them and we're going to get more exposure than them. It's kind of like a dog-eat-dog game, but it's also about we all we got at the end of the day. We got to click in with one another because the underground is the safe haven for the legends and the people coming up.
And that's true, man. See, a lot of individuals, man, they think they have that mentality. But it doesn't matter if a platform does a better interview than you or it gets different answers than you, because I look at it as it's different platforms. That's the whole point, you know what I mean? Maybe when you had the artist that day, they weren't really feeling an interview. They had some personal shit going on that day. And then they go on another person's platform the next day, and they're feeling better. What I look at it as is if you already did the interview, it shouldn't matter what, you know what I mean, how these people do their interview. That's their business. You already conducted your business. Now you're helping somebody else grow, man. And that's why I don't mind doing that, because people have that mentality where they want to keep shit away from other individuals. And I don't comprehend why people want to do that, man. We're all in it for the same thing. That's to help keep the legacy of real hip-hop culture alive.
That's a fact, man. Because the dog-eat-dog mentality is what hurts hip-hop, and not only hip-hop, but just people in terms of growth area. Because think about how much could be accomplished with just, bond together. Because at the end of the day, it's not really about me. It's also about the artist as well. I think that's another, that could be another topic. I feel that a lot of people within the power group, they just want to make it more about them and less about the culture. But that could be another topic.
But I also want to ask you this, man. Your 300th broadcast, like you mentioned earlier, is coming up fast, man. It's coming up really fast. What does Off the Cuff have planned for that, man? Like, what do you guys have in store for that broadcast?
Man, all I got to say is going to be a lot of parties, a lot of champagne, a lot of guests, a lot of surprises. We got a lot of things lined up for that one because people don't understand that hitting 300 is like a milestone. When we did our 200 show last year, it was late. We had a lot of calls, a lot of love, a lot of donations. I had surprise artists call me. One of the biggest surprises that I had, I was going to say this while we on the radio, was when we had Jay from the Lynch Mob called us to the penitentiary. But I knew right then that we were reaching places. We were reaching places in ways where I didn't expect.
That's crazy, man. At the Lynch Mob call you, man. Now that's what's up. You guys know you are most definitely, hitting, knocking down some doors if you have the Lynch Mob calling you. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, that was one of our biggest shows, too, man. We had the entire Lynch Mob, except for, of course, Ice Cube. But we had the late Shorty B up there. And we just let some brothers go and chop it up, man. I didn't really say much. I'm like, look, these guys, they breaking down some good game about, growing your own food, government conspiracy, economics. It was a different type of show, and we actually got a little bit of backlash because people were thinking that we were going to just click and bait and let them just Ice Cube all day. I'm like, nah, we're not really in there for that. I don't go for TMZ reporting. We're not Vlad TV. You go to Vlad for all that.
It's true, man, because people don't comprehend. The lynch mob was a lot more than just Ice Cube. You know what I mean? And that's what people don't understand, man. Like you want to make sure you cover all of it. Maybe a little bit of the Ice Cube stuff, but there's other topics.
Right. See, that's the goal of what we want to bring on our show is we don't go for the easy headline. We like when we bring an artist on, we want to know about what they bring to the table. We like to blame pick our guests. Like, it goes beyond just talking about a single album. We want these guys to really correlate with the audience about who they are. And for the case of the legends, reintroduce themselves. Because we're in 2020 right now. You know what I'm saying?
So I have to ask you this, man. So you have fans in North Carolina where you're currently located and all over the world, man. If for your fans that are listening right here, right now, is there anything you want to tell them, man?
First of all, I want to say thank everybody on helping me on this journey, man. Everybody that called, everybody that pretty much helped us get guests, everybody that showed love to the show, shared it, called in, left comments on the YouTube page, left comments on the Facebook page, is free at times. I love it all, man. As long as we getting our voices out there, I really appreciate it.
So, this is the time, man, that in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the show to give the social media handles. That way they can follow you and your show. And also, where can our listeners actually tap into your broadcasting platform as well?
Well, you can check us out on Instagram. I have like 3 different accounts. You can check us out at Guillotine 2018, GUILLIOTTAM 2018. The Real Rick Capo. Then you can definitely check us out mostly on YouTube. Just type up Off the Cuff Radio and just subscribe to that channel right there. And we're on SoundCloud as well.
Hey, man, that's what's up. I want to say, Eric, thank you so much for coming up on Outlaw Radio Live, man. I'm looking forward to that 300th broadcast as well. Looking forward to hearing the speed interview, man, and most definitely, man. I also have to ask, what times do you guys go live as well? That way our listeners can catch you live.
Honestly, it's hard to say because we're doing the format a little bit different. Like, sometimes we're doing pre-recorded interviews depending on the guest that we bring on, but most likely you can find us on Friday night, 9 p.m., Pacific, 8 Pacific time. And more so, you can also find us on Sundays at that same period as well.
Hey, man, that sounds like a plan. So, guys, make sure you head on over, check out Off the Cuff on YouTube. If you can, check them out live. I want to say, Eric, thank you so much for coming up on Outlaw Radio Live, man. Good luck in the 300th broadcast. You guys have some massive experience, so I know you guys don't need it. But either way, man, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and most definitely enjoy the rest of your weekend, brother.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you having me, man.
Hey, man, you're most certainly welcome, man. You have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, bro.